So what happened here? As you can see, we are in C major scale. And for now, we've been working in diatonic system. That means that all notes were in key. And what we have here, it's actually a G sharp, right? So as we would call it, this is a chromatic chord. This process is commonly used in classical music, but also you'll find it in many pop songs, and we will have an example later. Generally, it's possible to add chromatic chords into diatonic chord progressions, but you should keep in mind that you shouldn't establish new key in your chord progression. So if you're starting with diatonic chords and add a chromatic chord right here, you should come back to the key of your track. Since this chord is borrowed from another scale, and you would stay in the scale of this chord, you would make so-called modulation, but we'll get to it in a couple of chapters. So basically, we use borrowed chords to keep attention of the listeners and surprise them with our harmonies. That's really important to surprise your listener, because then you can stay unique and people will remember you better. So as you can see, we are in the C major scale, as I've said, and we are here borrowing chord from a parallel minor key. Remember that parallel is not a relative minor. Remember that parallel minor is not a relative minor. So as we have in the circle of fifths, so as we had in our circle of fifths, here we have a major key and relative minor key to it, which was A minor. But parallel minor key to C major will be C minor. So by saying parallel, we are just changing the quality. So in this example, we are in C major. So we have a C major chord in second inversion because we have a C in the middle. Then we have G7 dominant chord because it has major third, minor third, and minor third. That's a character of dominant chord. It makes us feel like going to home. And we'd like to step inside of our home, so it goes like. That's why it's dominant. Then we borrow an F minor chord from our parallel key to C major. So we borrow a fourth chord from C minor. So we would have F here and a sixth here. And added F in voicings. Then we end up on the first chord of our progression. Here that this borrowed chord is pretty similar to the dominant chord here. So let's take a look which chords we could borrow from the C minor scale. What you can see here is a representation of the chords laying in C minor scale. So we are starting here with the C minor. So we have a C, E flat actually, and a G instead of C, E, G. And also here we can see the Roman numerals for this. And as you can see, they exchange to a minor ones. So you could actually use all of them to exchange a chord in your major progression, except this one here, because it's diminished. So we could exchange the C major chord, for example, with C minor, E flat major, F minor, what we actually do. And we could even exchange it to dominant, E flat major, B flat major, or even C major again. So those are pretty good candidates to replace a chord in our progression. So as we do it with F minor, maybe let's just for fun replace it with G minor chord. So it goes like this. We don't even need to think about it because both of them are minor chords. So we can go and grab all of these notes and transpose it to semitones up. Let's hear it now. Sounds really interesting, right? So we can see that there are a couple of possibilities to borrow a chord from a parallel minor key, for example.